meeting recently, please mute yourself. Thank you once again. First of all, I want to say thank to all of you for registering this workshop. So here we are going to discuss about the very fundamental concepts. So first let's start the session. So already we delayed. Yeah. So coming to the AI. So what mean by AI? So what is the use of AI? So AI means artificial intelligence. So the name itself says that artificial intelligence. That means scientists or engineers or developers observe the natural intelligence available across the globe, and based on the behavior based on their observations, they modeled the behavior of the natural intelligence in the form of some mathematical relations, and they are programmed in terms of any programming language like a Python or Java or C or MATLAB, whatever it may be. And after program it, and they deployed that model in a computing machine. Now that machine will works like the natural intelligence behavior. Let's assume. So if you see, uh, uh, some engineers, they may observe the natural intelligence that human being have. So see, generally how we are our intelligence we are developing, how our intelligence will be developing slowly. See, when we are in very small child, newborn baby. So the baby, whether girl or boy, they don't know anything. In their brain, some random, nothing is available, some random information is there, nothing is available. We don't know anything. But after few days, he is able to recognize his mother. If while seeing his mother, he is able to give some smile like that, because his neurons are trained by seeing his or her mother face. Slowly, his brain is updating by seeing the her mother face. After that, whenever he saw or he or she saw the her mother face, then he got some smile. Let us assume after few days he was in a crawling stage. So let us assume his mother is cooking some food at the kitchen. Every time he is entering into the kitchen, he is trying to touch a vessel which is very hot. His or her mother said many times, "Don't touch," but every time he trying to touch that one. At some time she left outside, and he going into the kitchen and touch the vessel, and he feel some hot and pain. From that next time onwards, he never touched that vessel. Why? He was learned. What he learned, if he touch that vessel, he feel some pain. So from that next time onwards, he never touched that vessel. He learned himself. His brain learned. And later you can go something later. Some I want to discuss about the something else. Like if we join our kid into this, my child into the school, so what the school management will do, they will give some letters, alphabet letters A, B, like that, and ask him to write multiple times so that his neurons are trained. So they show this is the letter A. You have to practice it. So when you see that letter, he's able to understand that yes, this is the letter A. So what happened in all the stages? His brain was trained based on some instructions, based on some data, some information. I give A, B, C, D like that. The child will learn, and later on, when you see A is able to identify that this is the letter A. So that means, so if our human brain, if we want to learn something, we need some information, we need some data. So same thing, in the same phenomena, we are developing some models based on the our structure of the human brain. In the human brain, you have the multiple neurons which are the interconnected. So like that, engineers also developed some artificial neural network model where all the neurons are interconnected. So if our neurons need to be trained, then what we have to do? We need some data. Suppose now you are trying to learn something related to the AI. I am feeding the data to you and your neurons are updated. Similarly, the neural network model in the form of some mathematical relations will be developed and we are feeding some data to that neural network model. It will be trained on the computing machine. Once it is perfectly trained, then what we will do, that neural network model will be deployed in edge devices. Edge device may be a mobile, maybe a IoT device or something else, or a computing machine also. Now that edge, on the edge device, once your model, your machine learning model or deep learning model or AI model deployed onto the machine, now that machine will behave like me because that model was taking the inspiration from my brain. So that's how it works. Now see why we require this AI. So AI enables us to build amazing software that can improve healthcare, that can be used to improve the healthcare also, and enable the people to overcome the physical disadvantages and empower the smart infrastructure and create the incredible entertainment experience. So in such way, we can use this AI. Coming to the healthcare. So in the healthcare, so nowadays some AI-based machines are available to do the surgeries also. And maybe during the peak COVID time, there are many AI-based applications were developed. Many AI-based applications were developed. So in order to diagnose the 1 minute. So in order to diagnose the COVID before going to the hospitals, like suppose at that time, especially in the 2020, 2021. So suppose if you feel small cough or cold also, we are afraid of the COVID. Then generally what we are doing, we are going to the checkup centers, health checkup centers or the hospitals. And many people are coming to their hospitals for the testing purpose. Even though actually we don't have a COVID, but if you entering into the crowd at the hospital, then there is a possibility we will be affected. So at that time, how this AI is useful, then some scientists or engineers have developed some applications, AI-based application. That application will ask some data like what is the temperature, what is the oxygen level, what is the pulse rate, whether you have the cough, cold. Sometimes such information it is asking. Once submit all this data, then it will give initial diagnosis whether you have a COVID or not. Later it will suggest there is a symptoms of the COVID. There is a possibility you will be affected by the COVID. Then please go and consult the doctor. So after that, some people sir went to the hospital. So it will avoid the crowds at the hospital. So like that, so your AI can be useful in the healthcare. Also enable people to overcome the physical disadvantages. So what are the physical disadvantages? See, uh, we like from the SR University, we built one mobile application to recognize the Indian currency notes using the mobile application. So what that mobile application will do, so if you keep the any currency note in front of the mobile camera, then a mobile camera in actually we deployed our trained deep learning model in the mobile. We deployed our trained deep learning model into the mobile. So now what it will do is, so once you keep some 100 rupee note or 500 rupee note in front of the mobile camera, then that image will be going to your deep learning model what to deploy in the mobile application. The deep learning model will recognize whether it is a 100 rupee or 50 rupee. Now it will give the voice output. Yes, this is the 100 rupee, this is the 50 rupee, this is the 20 rupee. Then how it will be useful, to whom it will be useful? So this will be useful to the people who are visually impaired, who are unable to recognize the currency notes, who are unable to see the currency notes. For such type people, this application will be helpful. So that means that's what it will enable people to overcome the physical disadvantages. So that is we are using the AI model only, that called CNN model, convolutional neural network model we developed and we deployed in the mobile application. So now how the AI is useful? AI can be used to overcome the physical disadvantages, blindness or visually impaired people. That will be helpful. Also empower the smart infrastructure, very smart infrastructure. You can see. Uh, so previously, when I started my teaching career, so at that time, every day we are going to office and there is a register. We keep the signature. Now that is not required. So there's a face recognition based retina system. Just I keep in front of our biometric system. It will recognize based on my face. It will recognize yes, it is the Venkatramana. It will give the attendance for me. And also other smart infrastructures you all know well. So voice controlled home appliances. So turn on TV, turn off mobile phone, sorry, turn off light. So based on our voice instructions, we got many appliances to control. That's called smart infrastructure. And also incredible entertainment experience. There are many video games, entertainment available based on the AI. So I want to show a small video. So it will be more helpful to understand how AI is enables our human life. Uh, Go ahead. See. Seeing AI is a mobile application which was built using the Microsoft Azure services. It's a computer vision based application. Okay. So, okay, just now I confirmed that you are unable to. I think you are able to see the video, but unable to hear the audio of this video. But anyhow, I want to tell what the things are showing here is um, uh, this video shows the various applications related to AI and how AI enables the human life very well ahead. So there is one application that is called Seeing AI that was developed by the Microsoft Azure services. So that the Seeing AI application can be useful to recognize the even directions, and also is able to identify the some text available in the document, and it also helps to recognize the various objects in front of that girl which is shown on the video. So that AI based Seeing AI application will help a lot to do her daily life very well. So, so coming to the our presentation, yeah, now I think you are able to see this PPT. So once again, I want to repeat. So AI enables to build the amazing software. AI-based software can improve the healthcare. That means your AI can be useful to diagnose the diseases, to do the operations. So some other infrastructures at the hospitals that can be useful, and enable the people to overcome the physical disadvantages. The people who are visually impaired, who are unable to see, for them this AI can be useful to do some regular activities and empower the smart infrastructure like Alexa and Siri, and also create the incredible entertainment experiences. So this is the introduction to AI. So what mean by the what is AI? What is the definition of AI? So artificial intelligence is the intelligence that was developed in the form of some mathematical operations, mathematical equations, mathematical relations, right? So, and implemented using any computer programming language like Python or MATLAB or whatever it may be, to make the machines behave like a human intelligence and to perform the some tasks. So what you see, what I want to convey is so I want to give some case study. See, now, if we want to uh, recognize the Indian currency notes, what we will do? Initially, before 2015, there is no 2000 note, right? And 500 note also old one. But after 2015, new denominations are coming, 2000 note. So, so what happened when we saw the 2000 rupees note first time, and someone tell this is the 2000 rupee note, my human brain will be updated. Yes, this is the image of the 2000 rupee. From then next time onwards, whenever I saw that note, I can easily recognize that is a 2000 rupee note. Because my human brain, my brain was updated, my neurons in the brain was updated on the first instance. And later on, whenever I see the 2000 rupee note, I am able to observe. So the same scenario I want to relate with the artificial intelligence, my CNN, my mobile application. So now, as I have the eyes, I am unable to see the 2000 rupee note. That's fine. I'm able to easily recognize. But what happened to the people who are unable to see, who are blind, who are visually impaired? How we can help them? Then what I will do? We take one AI model that is called convolutional neural network model. So any machine learning model or deep learning model means don't think that something, uh, don't think much about that one. Any AI model or machine learning AI model is nothing but some mathematics behind it, some mathematical relation behind it, some mathematical operation behind it. So CNN model also one of the AI model. It has certain type of mathematical operations behind that CNN model. ఓకే. సో ఎప్పుడైనా ఎవరైనా మీకు ఏఐ మోడలు, మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ మోడలు, డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ మోడల్ అన్నారంటే మోడల్ మీన్స్ సమ్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ ఆపరేషన్ బిహైండ్ దట్ వన్. From model to model, that mathematical operation will be changes. CNN model has a one type of mathematical operation. ANN model has one type of mathematical operation. Linear regression model has a one type of mathematical operations. So AI model anna, machine learning model anna, deep learning model anna, some mathematics is behind that model. You can think like that. So when we want to build that mobile application to help the visually impaired people, we choose the CNN model, convolutional neural network model. Why we choose the convolutional neural network model? Because it will be good to for the image related applications. So CNN model. That means here the CNN model is the AI model. It's almost functions like our human brain, which is a natural intelligence. Human brain is a natural intelligence. CNN model is artificial intelligence, AI model. So now I have the CNN model. Okay. So if you try to correlate our human brain function with the CNN model, what next we have to do? సో ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? ఈ సిఎన్ఎన్ మోడల్ అనేది ఆ కరెన్సీ నోట్స్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలగాలి. సిఎన్ఎన్ మోడల్ అనేది కరెన్సీ నోట్స్ని ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏబుల్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద కరెన్సీ నోట్స్ లైక్ అవర్ హ్యూమన్ బ్రెయిన్. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు మేక్ అవర్ హ్యూమన్ బ్రెయిన్ if I want to make our human brain recognize the 2000 rupee note, what I will do initially when the first time 2000 rupees came into the market, how my brain knows this is the 2000 rupee note at that time? Anyone can tell? నేను అడుగుతున్న క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటమ్మా, ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ టైం 2015లో 2000 రూపీ నోట్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, అది 2000 రూపీ నోట్ అని మీరు ఎట్లా ఐడెంటిఫై చేశారు? సపోజ్ మీకు ఎవరు చెప్పలేదు అనుకోండి, బయట ఎక్కడ 2000 రూపీ నోట్ పడింది అనుకోండి, బయట ఎక్కడ ఉంది, అది మీకు కరెక్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ 2000 రూపీ నోట్ అని ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది మనకు? So someone will tell that, so this is the 2000 note. Then my human brain feed that information as this is the image. It looks like 2000 rupee with pink color, and this is the 2000 rupee note. So that the data is feeding to my brain, right? Similarly, when I choose the CNN model, I have to give the information to the CNN model. So then what I did, So then what I did, so I have the CNN model. Now for this model, I gave the various type of images. I tell, so this is the 10 rupee note, and this is the 20 rupee note, and this is the 50 rupee, this is the 100 rupee, this is the 200 rupee, this is the 500 rupee, this is the 2000 rupee. So like that information, I'm feeding that CNN model with some programming language, Python. Now the model was trained like my brain, my CNN model also trained. When the first time I saw the 200 rupee note, when I said someone said it's the 200 rupee, my brain was trained. When someone says the 2000 rupee, my brain was trained. From next time onwards, when I see the 2000 rupee note, I can easily recognize this is the 2000 rupee note. My brain was trained because already. Similarly, I want to make the CNN model learn on the existing denominations of the Indian currency. So what I did, I show the 10 rupee note to the CNN model, and I'm updating the CNN model. This is the 10 rupee note image. This is the 20 rupee note image. Like that, I'm updating the CNN model with some programming algorithms, programs and algorithms. Now, after certain epochs, certain iterations, my CNN model is perfectly trained with good accuracy. My CNN model is perfectly able to recognize 10 rupee note, 20 rupee note to 500 rupee note, all things is able to recognize. So what the next task? Now CNN model is ready in my computer. If that is the case, no use. I want to build a mobile application. Now what I did? So just CNN model, I deployed into this mobile. I deployed that CNN model into the mobile. Now, whenever I keep the image of the currency note in front of the camera, so that image goes to the CNN model, already trained CNN model available in the mobile, and that CNN model uh, recognize whether the note in front of the mobile camera is a 200 rupee or 500 rupee note, and this will give the voice output. So now what happened? Now this mobile application will perform like me. I have the natural intelligence. When I see this 2000 note, I can easily recognize this is the natural intelligence what I have from the God. Now I developed the AI, artificial intelligence. It mimics my brain. It mimics like me, like most of the human beings. Now this is called the artificial intelligence. So what I did, so just observe my natural intelligence. I took a appropriate mathematical model, AI model, and trained, make it learn using some programming language based on the some images. Once it was trained, I deployed that model into the mobile. Now this mobile acts like a human brain. It will perform the almost same. Now this mobile application is the artificial intelligence application, whereas I have the natural intelligence that is God given to me, but is artificially developed. Okay, so that's what the statement of this definition of this uh, AI. So you can see here, artificial intelligence is an intelligence that was developed in the form of some mathematical operations and implemented using the computer programming, either Python, MATLAB, whatever it may be, and deployed into a machine. And now machine behaves like a human intelligence to perform some tasks. The tasks are like decision making, and tasks are like language decision making means uh, uh, see, some visually impaired people so went to some shop, and shopkeeper said that the item value is 10 rupee. Then what the visually impaired people will do, that blind people will do, he has some multiple currency notes, and one currency note keep in front of the camera, it shows that 50 rupee. Oh, so it's a 50 rupee, so he keep it in the pocket. And later keep one more, it's showing the 10 rupee. Yes, it's the 10 rupee. So he take the decision to give it to the shopkeeper. Decision making. So it helps to decision making. And also AI can be used for the language translation. You may know about the Google Translator. So language translation. So Microsoft AI also have different services for the language translation from one language to the 60 other languages across the globe. Language translations, it will be helpful to translate the content, data, text from the one language to the another language. So AI can be useful. Please listen carefully. Okay. So in the examinations, they will not ask you to implement. They ask you, so what mean by the language translation? So like that they will ask. Okay. So decision making and language translation and visual perceptions. Visual perception means from the images, from the videos, you are able to extract some information. Like I said previously, mobile application to recognize the Indian currency notes. That is the example for the visual perceptions. Face recognition attendance system, visual perception. And if you go to some gold shop somewhere, so when the customer near to this door, the doors will be automatically open. All are the visual perceptions. And speech recognition. Maybe I think so. If you observe in the Microsoft Teams, when I'm speaking, it will give some text. You can see that in the Microsoft Teams, in the backend, there is the AI application, AI model. It will recognize my speech and convert into text. You can see if you observe. Maybe I'm not sure whether you are able to see or not on the video. You can find some text information while I'm speaking. It will recognize my language and accordingly it will convert all the things. The speech recognition. In such way, so the AI can be useful. So I hope you understand what I mean to say. Okay. So simply AI or artificial intelligence is nothing but the intelligence which was developed by taking the inspiration from the natural intelligence across the globe and make into this mathematical operations and program it using any computer programming language and deployed that AI model into any machine or edge device. Now that edge device is a AI device because that has the artificial intelligence which behaves like a natural intelligence from where you take the inspiration. That's what the AI is. So hope you understand. So what are the key elements of AI? What are the key elements of the artificial intelligence? The key elements are, first thing is machine learning. The AI, one of the element is called machine learning. So machine learning means this is the foundation of the AI system. So like human brain, how we learn, we make the machine to learn. How we learn, we make the machine to learn. How we learn? Because we have a God-given natural intelligence, human brain. Similarly, in the machine learning also, you choose one model, one AI model. So in the artificial intelligence, you have the AI model. And in the natural intelligence, I have the human brain. If I have the only human brain, can I learn everything? I will become I know everything if I have the only brain. No, I said when the boy, a child, a girl born, at the time we don't know anything. As he is grown, he learn many things. Because some data, some information feeding into his brain, either from the mother, either from the father, either from the siblings, or either from the grandmother, grandfather, either from the teachers or from the friends, some data feeding every day into the mind. So your brains are updated. So data is important. So here also in the machine learning also, once the model is ready, you have to take the data based on your application. If you want to work on the COVID application, you have to take the COVID data. If you want to work on the temperature prediction, you have to work with the temperature data. If you want to work on the currency denomination application, you have to take the various images of the currency denominations. If you want to work on healthcare retina, so you have to take the retina images. So that is called data. So the data also you have to feed. So feed the data to your model, make it train and deploy into the machine. Now machine works like what you have, what you are learning, what you are thinking. So that is called machine learning. First make the machine to learn and later that machine will behave like you. That is called AI, artificial intelligence or machine learning. So don't think if you choose AI as a broad, in that one machine learning is a subset, deep learning is a subset in that one. So your AI is a big box. Inside you have the machine learning. Inside you have the deep learning subsets. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of your AI. And what is the next key element of AI is called anomaly detection. So what the anomaly detection? So anomaly detection means generally something happened as usual. Suddenly the pattern, the functioning of that one will be changed. That's called anomaly detection. Like I want to give one example. Let us assume I have a credit card. Yeah. So this is my credit card. So mostly I am using this credit card at the grocery shops like DMart or Reliance Fresh Smart like that. I'm using this credit card. I'm using this one over the last 5 years, 5 to 6 years. So this is my usual usage pattern is mostly in the hospitals or sorry, in the grocery shops or in the some Reliance or DMart like that. Mostly I'm using. Suddenly, the usage pattern was changes to some bars. That is some bar and restaurants. The usage of this credit card is changed. Patterns was changed. My regular usage is in the DMart and Reliance, and it will be somewhere some in between. It will be usage in the bars. Then this is called an anomaly operation. Something going wrong with my credit card usage. So maybe someone stolen. So they are using at the restaurants. Okay. So that is called anomaly detection. So you have to identify that something happened differently rather than the usual practice. జనరల్గా జరిగేది కాకుండా సంథింగ్ వేరేగా డెఫినెట్గా ఏమైనా స్పెండ్స్ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు దట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ ది అనామలీ డిటెక్షన్. Then your AI model detect that anomaly operation, give the information to the bank officers. They will call back you or they will send a text message to your mobile. So you are accessing your credit card so and so bar and restaurant. If it is not you, please call to us or tell us so that we can take necessary action. So how they will recognize something happening in the back end? So that is some algorithms will be run in the backside of my AI use, my credit card usage. It will identify whether my usage is proper or not. So that is called as anomaly detection. Anomaly detection means going something normal, but suddenly the pattern was changed. That means some fault is happened, some mistake was happened. So that is called as the anomaly detection. So capability of automatically detect the errors or unusual activity in a system. Some error. Suppose there is a complete automation process for some manufacturing of the cool drinks or filling the bottle and keeping the cups on top of the bottle. It is an automatic process. So everything going in the in the right direction every day. Something fault has happened. There may be a seat belt moving very slowly. So such type of things able to detect early, so that take the necessary action later. That is called anomaly detection. Okay, hope you understand what I'm saying. Some seat belt is moving and your bottles are feeding there. It moves and fill the cool drink and moves and keep the cap. That is the usual normal process, automatic process. And in the seat belt move with some certain speed. Suddenly the speed was changed, then that's called the anomaly detection. You have to use some AI related models. Every time you have to track your seat belt movement, and if it observe any slow motion in the seat belt or up and down movement forward of the seat belt, that is called anomaly operation. Next, computer vision. So computer vision means the capability of the software to interpret the world, usually through cameras, videos, and images. So that is called as the computer vision. If you want to work with some application which deals with the images or videos, so that is called as the computer vision. If you want to build some application that require a camera, and if you want to build some application that deal with the images, if you build some application that deal with the videos, then that application is called as a computer vision application within AI. Okay. And coming to the natural language processing. So natural language processing means so the capability of the computer to interpret written or spoken language and respond accordingly. So natural language processing means it is able to understand what written, what comments are given, and accordingly it will respond. That is called part of the natural language processing. So in the natural language processing, we are completely deal with the written or spoken languages. And the computer vision, we are dealing with the images and videos. And with the complete machine learning, we are dealing with the only data, numerical data. And next one is the conversational AI. So conversational AI means capability of a software or AI agent to participate in the conversation. That means if you observe previously, suppose if we have some home appliances, if something repair was happening, something malfunction is happening in the home appliance, previously what we will do, we will call to the a technician given by the that company, and we will give information to the technician, and he will tell so what to do. They're called human conversation, human to human. But now what happened? So every Crompton or Samsung or LG, so when you call to the customer care, maybe they told so agents are busy with some other calls. Meanwhile, you try with our AI-based chart application. Now, what we will do based on the chart application, we have to give the information to the chart box, and the AI agent backend here, the AI application will be respond accordingly. Okay, so that is called conversational AI. So we are not conversing with the human being, we are not conversing with the man and woman, but we are conversing with the some AI software, AI agent. So that is called as a conversational AI. Okay, and next one is a uh, knowledge mining. So knowledge mining means the capability of the extract information from the large volume of unstructured data and create the searchable knowledge store. So we have a large amount of data, which is unstructured data. So actually in the Excel sheet we have the structured data. So on the date column we will keep the date, and the roll number column we will keep the roll number, and the email ID column we will keep the email ID. Something like that is called structured data. But unstructured data means, so if the data is thrown as it is, now we have to make it a structured way, and someone searching, now we have to easily search from the structured data. So that is called as the knowledge mining. So the capability of extract the information from the large volumes of often unstructured data to create the searchable knowledge store. And next element is fuzzy logic system. So fuzzy logic system, which mimics the human decision making process. So generally, let's assume you got a campus placement for a multiple 3 to 4 industries, let's assume. And you finally come to conclusion. You decided to join in only one company. It is not possible to join in the 4 companies. You come to conclusion for the only one company based on some thought process. So how we come to the one conclusion? So like that, your fuzzy logic system also works. How humans are thinking for the coming to the single solution for the multiple decisions. Coming to the multiple decisions from the single decision that is called fuzzy logic systems. And last one is swarm intelligence. So swarm intelligence is also a part of AI. So the swarm intelligence means it will observe the intelligence available across the natural intelligence available across the various things in the globe, and we convert into some mathematical modeling, and we will use it in the computing machines. Example, there is one algorithm is called a genetic algorithm. So genetic algorithm is a one of the AI based algorithm which take the inspiration from the how human genes are evaluated. How human genes are evaluated. Suppose if the both mom and dad, both parents are genetics are very highly knowledgeable persons. Their kid also like a, because he is coming from their genes, he will also be matured, high knowledgeable person. So based on that one, there is an algorithm developed that is called as the genetic algorithm. Similarly, there is one more algorithm called particle swarm optimization, PSO antar. So particle swarm optimization, which will take the inspiration from the bird swarming. So birds are moving from the one place to the another place. How we migrate from one place to the another place? So based on the migration behavior or swarming behavior of the birds, one algorithm is developed that is called as the particle swarm optimization. Similarly, there's a multiple optimization algorithms like ant colony algorithm by observing the swarming behavior of the ants. Similarly, shuffled frog algorithm based on how frogs are behaves. Similarly, firefly algorithm, how fireflies are what the based on the behavior of the fireflies, their algorithm is called a firefly algorithm. Like that, many intelligences are available across the globe by taking inspiration from these intelligences from the fireflies, frogs, bats, birds. So different algorithms, AI-based algorithms are developed. So these algorithms are called as a swarm intelligence, the part of AI, artificial intelligence. Now, students, I want to ask a few questions. So can you please respond to my questions either using the chat box or by unmute yourself? That is your choice. The question is, suppose if you want to build some face recognition based application. Face recognition based application means, so we will keep camera on top of the our whiteboard in the classroom. That camera will capture the images of all the students in the classroom, and it will give the witness automatically. If you develop such type of application, so that will be comes under which type? It is a computer vision or natural language processing?
Computer vision, sir.
Perfect. It is a computer vision because you are dealing with the images, cameras, videos. So there is a computer vision application. Good. And one more thing I want to ask you. That is, you want to create mm, an application. So that application uh, to discuss, that means you want to build some application like a chatbot type application. So in the chatbot type application, if you give some question, so it will understand, it will give the some corresponding response. Now it comes under computer vision or natural language processing. Once again, I will repeat the case study. I want to build some application. In that application, the user will provide the data in the form of the text, his doubts in the form of some text. So I am going to Hyderabad, what is the better restaurant? So like that, he will type the text box and your application will give the suitable restaurant to him. If such type of application you want to build, so that comes under the computer vision or natural language processing. Anyone, please? So this type of questions only you will come in the AI. No need to build all the things, but you are going to understand the basic, only basic understanding. Yes. So Hakim made. So it's the NLP. Okay. Yes, it's the NLP, natural language processing. Very good. So there's a natural language processing. So that type of things only you will get from the examination. The examination, such type of things only they will ask. Thank you very much for your response. So if you give some answer to me, that will be more interesting for me also. It will create some interest. Okay, fine. Now coming to next one. Next topic we will go. So understanding of machine learning. So machine learning is a foundation for the AI, most of the AI systems. Actually, till now we discussed about the healthcare application, right? I want to show one application where it is used in the agriculture. So sustainable farming techniques are essential to maximize the food production. For maximize the food production, sustainable techniques are required. Like um, so recently, see my I want to share one information with you. Recently, in my village, my parents cut the complete crop and give it to machine also, and keep that grains on the road to sell their grains to the merchants. But suddenly, there's a lost something much chunk some rain. So because of rain, so most of these grains were dry, becomes wet. So it creates some problem to the yield. So my parents will not get the sufficient money for that one, even though they tried hard over the last 1 year. Suppose if you are able to do some uh, AI models saying that within 10 days or 20 days there is a possibility that you will get a rain. So don't cut any your crop, like that some instructions are provided. That will be more useful. So like that. Similarly, some applications already available uh, to detect that, to identify the plant diseases. So actually, maybe I think 1 or 2 years back, we want to we want to write one project proposal for the DST. So for a smart agriculture. So then we talk with some farmers in Anna Sagar. They said that for their crop, for their plant, they feel something happening bad to that plant. They remove that plant and take it to the nearby shop, pesticide shop, and show that plant to that pesticide shop, and they will give a suitable pesticide uh, to that farmers. So then what we thought is we want to build some one application. So that mobile application capture the image of the leaves of a plant, and it will detect the which type of disease it may be affected, and also uh, going to suggest which type of fit sets are suitable. And also we are going to suggest where these fit sets are available, such type of application we want to build. So in such a way, in more ways, so AI can be useful in the smart agriculture also. So there is one company that is called the Yield, an agriculture technology company in the Australia. So they are also used AI based on the sensors, data, and machine learning. They are building some applications for to increase the yield growth. So I want to share this video also. Please go through it. So this is about the yield company. It is an agriculture technology based company of Australia. How they are using the AI to increase the yield growth in their country. So they want to use this AI so for weather forecasting and also to uh, plant leaves, identify the disease based on the leaf images. Using X facility can reduce the waste and produce the more food. Local predictions about light, wind, rain. So this is about the company yield. Some instance I want to show here. And coming to this basic, just see this video and understand what you interpret from this video, please. See this video. It's the video which will give the basic idea about the machine learning. What they are doing, see, from the step 1 to step 4. So anyone can tell what you understand from this video. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So step 1, there is some images and we are labeling the images and we train the machine learning model and deploy the model. Now if you see any images to the model, that model will tell what that image is. That's how general machine learning is happening. So in the machine learning, we have to keep the various data. And for every data point, you have to label it. And based on the data, along with the label, you have to train the machine learning model and deploy that machine learning model in any edge device. Now that edge device, if you show any image to that edge device, so based on its training experience, so it will identify which type of image it is. Like you can see in the step 1, various images, labeling, training, and model deployed in the machine. Now machine seeing the image and giving the response, what that image is. So that is the how machine learning works. So, so based on this image, anyone can tell what are the primary requirements for any machine learning project. Based on 5 steps, what are the primary requirements for any machine learning project. Once again, I will repeat the steps what are following here. First one, various images data, and we are labeling every image and train the machine learning model, and the model will deployed in the machine. Now machine seeing a new image and it will identify what that image is. So what the primary requirements? What are the primary requirements for the any machine learning project? That is the question what I am asking now. Anyone, please?
Collecting information is a primary thing, sir.
Perfect.
First of all,
So,
collecting information, and then we are doing a brainstorming method.
Right. So first you have to collect the data based on your application. Because in the video what I'm showing, that is the application. So I want to build a machine learning model to recognize the various type of flowers. So the video which I shared with you, so that video is to build a machine learning model to recognize the various types of the flowers. So for that one, what I did, so there is an application to build to identify the flowers. So I collect the images of the various flowers, and I labeled I labeled it its name, like this flower is rose, this flower is jasmine, like that I am labeling it. Okay, so that's called data preparation, collecting the data preparation. Hope you understand. Okay, so once the data is ready and we collect the data with labels, now we feed that data to the machine learning model. That wheels are there, that are called training. So we are training the model, we are training the machine learning model by feeding the data. So this is the jasmine flower, this is the rose flower, like that we are feeding the data. So once the model was trained, that model was deployed into the machine. Like it a human brain, it will deploy into the machine. Now the machine later on, when the machine see any new flower, then it is able to identify whether it is a jasmine, whether it is a rose, or like that. So that means the primary requirement of any machine learning project is that first of all collect the data, label the data, and choose the proper machine learning model, and correlate these two, train these two, and deploy the machine learning model onto the edge device. That's the complete pipeline. Collect the data, label the data, do some pre-processing, choose some machine learning model, and train the machine learning model on the given data. Once the machine learning model trained perfectly, then forget about all the data. Now deploy this model into the edge application. Now that edge application, edge device will behave like a like human brain. If you see the rose flower, we can easily identify this is the rose, this is the jasmine. Like that, we can easily identify. Now, but that machine also identify. So this is the bottle, this is the mobile, this is the keyboard. I know. So it's like that if you give some images of keyboard, of mouse, of mobile, of bottle, and train the machine learning model and deploy the machine learning model into a computer, if you keep the mobile in front of the computer screen, it's able to identify this is a bottle because it's trained already. It behaves like me. If you someone keep the bottle in front of me, I can say it's the bottle. So your machine also like it's the bottle. So like that, it will work. That's just a fundamental concept of the machine learning. So simple pipeline of any machine learning project is, first of all, you have to understand the problem. Sorry, you have to understand the problem. Which problem you are working? Whether you are working in a code prediction, you are working in the weather prediction, whether you are working in load prediction, whether you are working in a identification of the currency nodes, whether you are working on a some other application, the identification of the plant diseases, on which application you want to work. You have to identify your problem. You have to understand your problem. Based on that problem, you have to collect the data. Actually, in the last, your seniors, final year students, they worked on one batch is working on the electric power load forecasting. Another batch is working on the lithium ion battery health monitoring using AI models, AI and artificial neural network model. So the people who are working on the students who are working on the load forecasting application, they collect the data, load data from the Indian Energy Exchange IEX. And the people who are working on the lithium ion battery, they prepare the data based on the MATLAB simulations. So first of all, we have to understand on which problem we are working. Based on our problem, we have to collect the data. Okay, so మీరు లోడ్ ఫోర్కాస్ట్ మీద వర్కౌట్ చేయాలనుకుంటే మీరు లోడ్ ఫోర్కాస్ట్ డేటా మాత్రమే తీసుకోవాలి. If you want to work with the EV, you have to take the data related to the EV. If you want to work on currency note denomination identification of the Indian currency, you have to choose the Indian currency notes only, not US currency notes. Hope you understand. If you want to build an application to recognize the US currency notes, then you have to take the US currency notes data, not Indian currency data. So first you have to understand the problem. Later you have to collect the data. Later you have to label the data. Later you have to label the data, and you have to pre-process the data, and later choose a proper machine learning model and train the model, deploy the model on the edge device. Now your edge device like a computer or Raspberry Pi board or your mobile behaves like you. Okay, so this is a pipeline of your any machine learning project. Maybe in future, in final year, if you want to work with machine learning project, this is the pipeline you have to remember. Okay, now go to next topic. So this was coming. Now, what are the different types of machine learnings? So coming to the machine learning, we have the supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. So here you can see in the data x1, x2, x3 nothing but the your inputs, and y is called as your output. Okay, and unsupervised learning means x1, x2, x3. These are the inputs. So what is the basic difference between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning? So in the supervised learning, you have to feed the both input data and also your label data output also. That is called as supervised learning. Okay. Whereas in case of the unsupervised learning, you don't have the output label, you have the only input features. So that is called as the unsupervised learning. Example is, suppose you have the multiple images of the multiple flower images. You have the multiple flower images. You have the multiple flower images. Okay, multiple flower images. Suppose if you label the every image like this is a rose flower, this is the jasmine flower, and feed it to your machine learning model and make your machine learning model to run. Later, your machine learning model able to identify whether it is a rose flower or jasmine flower. Then it is called as a supervised learning. Why it is called as a supervised learning? Anyone can tell? ఎవరైనా చెప్తారమ్మా? Here you can remember two things: supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Okay. Now,
Input and output is there in the
perfect. Good. Sorry, I got some cough actually. Yeah. So I want to repeat that question now. So I have the images of jasmine flower. I have the images of rose flower, and I feed the data. So this is the rose image, this is the jasmine image, this is the rose image, this is the jasmine image. Like that, I labeled every image and given to the machine learning model. And machine learning model learn based on the data I'm given. And later, if I show the rose flower to this one, even though I'm not labeling it, just I show the rose flower to this one, the model will tell it is a rose flower. When I see the jasmine flower to this model, the model will tell this is a jasmine flower. So this is the supervised learning or unsupervised learning. It's the supervised learning or unsupervised learning. It is supervised learning because while giving the data to my machine learning model to learn, I gave the complete label information. Label information means my input is X flower image, and my Y output is its label, whether it is a rose flower or jasmine flower. That label also I provided. Both I'm giving. I'm giving the input image and also what is its flower name output. Both are given to the machine learning model, and the model will train. So that is called as supervised learning. Okay. So generally what we are following in classrooms, generally what we are following, especially school is. So when we go to our school, so teacher told that this is the A, this is the B. So he said this image and this is called the A. He showed the image, he showed the letter and said that this is A. Now children will start writing on the image multiple times, and they remember that this is the A letter. So that is the supervised learning. So now what is the unsupervised learning? I will give second example. The same process, I have the multiple images of Rose and Jasmine. But I don't know. Let us zoom. I don't know. So that is the Rose and this is the Jasmine. I don't know. So I'm not giving any labeling to it. Only I'm feeding the images. I have the 100 row images, 100 images, 51 batch and 50 another batch. Now my machine learning model try to correlate similar images. It will be separate. It will separate the similar images. I'm not giving the any labeling. Yeah, this is the rose flower, this is the jasmine flower. I'm not giving any information. I'm giving the only images. And my machine learning model, my machine learning algorithm will group that images into the two groups based on their similarity. Two clusters into this based on their similarity. So this is the example for the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning means I'm not telling. So this is the rose flower, you have to group it here. This is the jasmine flower, you have to keep it in the second group. No, I'm not telling anything. Just I'm feeding the images. I'm not telling anything. But the machine learning model try to understand the similar features in the image. So it will group into the two clusters. One is the rose flower, one is the jasmine flower. So that is the example for the unsupervised learning. In the unsupervised learning, we are not feeding any output information to the data. Though your data containing any output variable, you don't get your data don't have any label information. You don't have any label information. There is no output information. Only input images or input data is available. Okay. So that is the example for the unsupervised learning. So general scenario, I want to tell one thing example for the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning means see after a certain age, if you go for if you are matured and if you are working in any software organization or any industry, no one will tell. So this is the content you have to learn and no one will explain also. So you have to learn yourself. No supervisor for you. You have to learn yourself. So that is called as unsupervised learning. The model will learn it's themselves. The models are learn themselves based on the available data. No supervisor, no output label to monitor whether the model is perfectly well working or not. There is no output label. Only inputs are provided. No instructions. Only based on the similarities it will learn. Another example I want to tell. So let's assume when you join in SR University in the first year. In the first year, if you join in the SR University, let's assume your class strength is 60. And assume all are coming from the various areas and various colleges. Then you don't know. All 60 members, they don't know one on each other on the first day. So on the first day, first class, your class looks like a 60 groups. Your class looks like a 60 groups because they don't know anyone. But after 1 or 2 hours, after discussion with each other, based on their interest, they may form as a small groups. There may be the similarities may be they came from the same area, they came from the same college, the same they have the similar type of likes and dislikes. So whatever it may be, so that when you coming to the second year, third year, final year, the groups will be formed like that. No one will supervise. No teacher will tell you, you four people group together, you four people group together. No one will tell. You have to, it's called unsupervised learning. Based on your likes, based on your dislikes, based on similar features, based on similarities, you are group it as here. So that is the example for the unsupervised learning. Simply telling, in the supervised learning, we feed the data that contains both input features and also output label. Whereas in unsupervised learning, we feed the data to the machine learning model which contains only input features, there is no output label. So that is the difference between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So these are the part of the machine learning only. But one is the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. Hope you understand. Now I want to give one case study. So after case study discussion, we will take a break for the 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So case study, if you're able to answer this case study, I feel that yes, you listen something, you understand something, right? So let's assume students, uh, Let's assume there is one operator in a substation. In an electrical substation, there is one operator. Now, so every day his goal is his duty is every day he has to note down the which hour what is the load on the substation. Hourly load data he has to maintain. He has to maintain hourly load data. Okay. Now, so every time you write the date and also you write the time and also you have write the what is the load on the substation at that time. Like that he prepared a data for 3-4 years like that. Okay. Now, one examiner coming from the external and went to the substation, and that one is a machine learning expert. Let us assume he want to build some machine learning model in order to observe the how the load will be on the weekdays and on the weekends. How the 24 load data, 24 hours load data on the weekdays and the weekends. So he went to the operator and asked the data. Dear operator, please give the data over the last 5 years. So what is the load pattern on the weekdays and what is the load pattern on the weekends? So hourly data kabatama, every day you have the 24 hours, 24 loads, and output level is either it is a weekend or weekday. Okay, such type data that engineer took that one. So now he feed that data to a machine learning model, train the machine learning model. Later, when he gives the any 24 hours continuous data is given to the machine learning model, the model will tell whether this is a weekday data or weekend data. Okay, now tell me, this is an example for the unsupervised learning or supervised learning. Whether it is a unsupervised learning example or supervised learning example. Yes. So Akim, thank you. So this is the supervised learning. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Sunil, thank you. So it is a supervised learning because the operator give the both the 24 hours load pattern and also output label, whether it is a weekend or weekday. So the data is fed it to the machine learning model, and later on when you give the 24 hours data to the machine learning model, it is able to identify whether it is a weekday or weekend. Then very good. It's a supervised learning. Very good. Now I will give some other slightly change the scenario. Unfortunately, the operator forgot to note down the date over the last 5 years. He forgot to note down the date. So when the machine learning engineering enter into the substation and ask the data to the operator, then the operator said that, sir, I have the 24 hours data of every day, but I don't know whether it is a weekend or weekday because I forget to enter the date. Then that machine learning engineer said that, please give the data to me. I will take the necessary action. So his task is again same thing. He want to give the 24 hours load data to the machine learning model. That model able to identify whether the weekend or weekday. Okay. But unfortunately, in this case, the operator who giving the data to the machine learning engineer forget to enter the date. Whether there is no date is available, it is very difficult to identify whether the weekday or weekend data that is. If the date is available, whether it is Sunday or Friday, you can easily identify. But there is no date. How? But still, that machine learning engineer said that, please give the data to me. I will take the necessary action. So any idea what we can do with that data? Okay, anyhow, please. So now the machine learning engineer has the data of 24 hours load data of every day over the last 5 years. But he don't have a column whether it is a weekend or weekday. Yes, very good. Very good. That's it. So your one of the participant gave the Venkat, very good. So one of your participant responded that is a similar data. So what that machine learning engineer will do is he took the data as it is, which doesn't containing the whether it is a weekend or weekday. But he feed the data 24 hours load data to the machine learning model, but now he apply the unsupervised learning. because you don't have the weekend or weekday information, no label information, only input information is available. Now you feed that information to the machine learning model and apply the unsupervised learning. Then what it will do? It will group that 24 hours load pattern into the two groups. So because weekend profile is different and weekday profile is different, so that load patterns will be separated. When the load patterns are separated, then you can give the label weekend. These are the weekends and these are the weekdays. And now you can go for the previous question. So this is the example for the how unsupervised learning algorithm will work and how supervised learning algorithm will work. So this is the basic difference between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Okay. So hope you understand that basic difference. So from these fundamentals, don't expect or don't think much. So only try to understand the fundamental concepts of the AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so what mean by the AI, how it will be useful, where it will be useful, what mean by the supervised learning, what mean by the unsupervised learning, what is the machine learning pipeline, such type of things only you are going to understand. Here anyone can tell what are the different steps in the machine learning project. So till now we discussed that already we discussed. So what the pipeline in the machine learning pipeline, what are the different steps we have to follow in a machine learning pipeline? So what the different steps we have to follow from the first step to the last step, please. Anyone? You can unmute yourself, you can tell, or you can use the chat box also. So after one thing, yes, Sanjay Kumar responded that the first step is understanding the problem. Very good. That's the first step. Next. Collect the data. Very good. So you have to collect the data. Once you understand the problem, suppose if you are working on the load prediction, you have to take the load data, collect data. Very good. Collect the data. Yes. So first understand the problem and collect the data. Once you collect the data, yes, you have to label it. You have to label it. If already labeled data is available, very, very good. If it's not available, then you have to label the data. Next. Perfect. You have to pre-process the data. You have to pre-process the data. So once again, first understand the problem, collect the data, label it, pre-process the data. So what next? Once the pre-processing is completed, next. So you have to choose a proper machine learning model based on the problem you are working. I will tell later that also. So I am saying based on the problem. But anyhow, you have to choose the proper machine learning model for your application. Once the machine learning model you are choosing, what is the next step? You understand the problem. You prepare the data, you collect the data, you label the data, you process the data, you choose the proper machine learning model also for your application. What next? Machine learning model choose చేసుకున్నారు, నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి? Perfect. You have to train the model. You have to train the model. You have to train the machine learning model what you have chosen based on the available data. You have to train the model based on the available data. Once the training is completed, what next step? Yes. So you have to test the model. If the training and testing is perfectly okay, then you have to deploy the model into the final edge devices. The edge devices may be a web application. Your edge device may be a mobile application. Your edge will be a IoT application. Whatever it may be, you have to deploy your trained model. So this is a complete pipeline of your machine learning project. Thank you very much for your active participation. Now, if it is a 15:20, so we can take a break of 10 minutes and please join by 3:20. Now it's a 3:10. So take a break for 10 minutes and join the 3:20. So you can leave now. So you can take a break for some time and don't leave and come back by 3:20. Thank you.